The game is about to begin. You made me forget my train of thought there, Hugo. And we get to see who is going to be better prepared in map number 3. The ramifications of this singular map are massive for the standings in Group B. We'll keep you updated with that as the game continues. But Hugo wasting no time at devils.one as they're quick into this A-bomb site.
What a flashbang from the yard as well. It puts Mert blind in the heaven. He has to concede the bomb plant. The nade even follows. 5-on-5 retake on Nuke. Not the most common setup, but let's see if Heroic can get back into things. They were fine in doing this back on overpass. Nade not going to find too much. Deha does stand below and they drop onto him. 3 kills. Deha continuing his performance from the previous map. And it's going to be the shutdown on the A side from devils.one. Looking very pumped, looking very hyped. That's Ral into the back there, and he is happy about that pistol round as well as Deha, finding 3 kills off the Glock. I feel like that Heaven retake strat always seems like a good idea, but you rarely actually see it work out.
The real problem is usually if you see a team elect to give up the A bomb site in that fashion, the man in Heaven will have a flashbang to facilitate the repeak of the CTs in the retake.
Yeah.
And S-Tag didn't have a flashbang, he had a grenade instead. So definitely not ideal, and you see what happens when you don't flash your way into that A bomb site beforehand, you get wrecked. As Heroic have had to learn the hard way.
Oof. Some clean shots from Deha as well, shutting down that round. Of course, devils.one did take an overtime win on Nuke yesterday versus NIP. Another very well-versed Nuke team, which really sets us up for a series here, really sets us up for this final map, because this is not one that Heroic have ever had problems with. It's in their blood. And so is his force by 3 scouts in the water and nades behind it as well. devils.one, they wait for no one. These scouts are going to get countered for the fast A play. Mert's overwhelmed. Freiburg with the trade. Now they won't go any more through the hut, so Freiburg will be on the flank through the lobby. Now, do they hear him? Do they know he's crept behind enemy lines? Doesn't matter. Doesn't check the corner. He gets one anyway off the flick, but the trade from Taz makes this a round for the Devils. 3-2 as that bomb can go down.
Oh, the nade on Blame F.
Oh. Almost.
Yeah, the attempted airstrike there from the heavens, but won't find any casualties. Hashtag gone. Blame F won't be able to do anything here, you would imagine, from the heavens, especially with this smoke being here. So he will just look to try and hold on it to the scout to close out this round. devils.one off to a good T-side start. The benefit of winning the pistol over on the T-side is pretty monumental. You know, you really only expect teams to kind of be around that 5-round mark over on the T side. Maybe that's changed a bit with the new economy changes on Nuke. Has maybe put that up for debate a bit more. But still a very CT-sided map. There's no denying it. So as a result, you know, if you're able to pick up 3 rounds early on your T side, you are laughing all the way to the bank because you're sat in a very advantageous position at that point in time.
And that 3-0 looking more likely than ever, Harry. Only a save scout, and what I imagine is PT50s here for Heroic. Solo Degon Freiburg, that's going to be it here, aside from the saved weapon. And now devils.one, chance to get that quick start. And look at the pace that they're set, Harry. This team, we harp on a lot for having slow T-sides. Well, the first 3 rounds of this map have all been immediate A pushes. S-Tag going to try and hold his own. He does get 2 with a USP. This is getting a little bit dangerous. AK dropped. He can't find it. He's scavenging, but Deha shuts him down with a nade. And again, it's Blame F. This one is certainly winnable for him, but he's going to need to hit some big shots.
Big shots have been his specialty, though. Deha going blow for blow with Blame. And ooh, almost. Not quite. Gonna switch things up and head toward the heavens. Smoke's still up on Rallen, though, and that could look to go down up into the heaven position just to nullify one of these angles. Instead, they throw it out into Mini. Rallen will mop up Blame before he can do any damage. Now, if you're S-Tag there, by the way, you're going to be mad triggered because there was a grenade on top of the rifle that was dropped. So is he spamming E to try and pick it up? He can't. So
Great
Valve,
game.
Please fix.
Yes. I hate that. 3-0. Will devils.one, you know, play the mind games, Harry? Will they rush A again? Heroic have got Molotovs to stop this, and they definitely should use them. Miles is going to break the door to at least force out this utility, but I don't think they're going to go for the full play once again. It's a fast yard one, though. devils.one wait for no one. This AWP is here for Mertz. No armor, no bother. He takes down D here straight away. Trade is there, coming in from Rallen in the yard. But Mertz, ooh, almost. Spots a player on top of the main roof as well. Taz gets flashed off, has to fall off. Rallen's still legged as well. He's down to 8 HP. devils.one bail out of the yard here. And Mouse, oh dear, Harry, we know how much Mouse loves the ramp. He's great at finding entry kills at this position. He's going to go through the Molotov, but he gets stuck in the middle. Oh, 12 HP, staying alive. Smokes himself off, though. Worth it to keep him in this round, but of course it does just mean the devils.one have been shut out of this position. Allows Blamef to rotate inside of ramp. And still 3 up on A right now. Heroic have a very solid setup. It's actually 2. Mertz is watching the yard. devils.one setting up for utility in this A site to go for the late round play.
Oh, but Freiberg is the great redeemer of this A-bomb site. He shuts down 3, and this leaves Rallen alone. And with it all to do, only 30 seconds left, 8 points of health. I'm painting a very grim picture here, and with good reason. He is not in a great spot to win this one out, and he knows it. So likely will just be the save here from the last man up on the side of the Devils. Heroic going to grace the scoreboard nice and early with their first CT side round in the rifle. Freiberg obviously was one of the stars over on Train, getting off to a good start here on Nuke as well.
Yeah, 3 all kills in that round, locking down the bomb site. No flashes, notedly, from that T side. It was a late round A call to go towards that position. I think they would have much rather ramp. But obviously that situation with the smoke and utility down on ramp really cut them out of that position. Now Heroic take their first, and the armor behind the AWP as well is going to be a factor to worry about if you are devils.one. That AWP just got a whole lot less squishy and a whole lot more deadly, and devils.one don't have a sniper to fight it back. It's going to be back to ramp rather for devils.one. Close Molotov to deny CT aggression. They are fully set up here, ready to go. That's a great nade, though, and D-Hurt, poor D-Hurt, spam through the smoke. Molotov right after. No trades allowed here for devils.one. But they will be setting up to go for this, regardless. Oh, dear. Heroic have done their research, I can tell you that much. They are using a lot of utility on this ramp position. They know that devils.one love to hit this spot. If they can shut down Miles out of getting these entries towards ramp, they are going to have a ball on this CT side. Man down, devils.one, a minute left, and an A play it seems, as they back off into the lobby. Desperation ensues.
And Hugo, you know what they say about desperate times? They call for desperate measures. So here is devils.one. Outside the A-bomb site. That smoke falling has already been enough for them to consider not hitting A, and they've changed their minds. Or have they?
Oh my god, make a decision.
Indecisive times call for indecisive measures. It's the A play from devils.one. Actually, it's B. It's the old fakeroo. They're faking me. They're faking Heroic. They're going to go back towards A. Where will they go? There's no time anyway, so it's just the save.
Well, right there, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know what just happened, you just saw a masterclass of utility usage from Heroic. Every time devils.one set up to hit something, there was a smoke in their face. So, clearly running out of options in that one, Harry. It's not every day you see a round like that, I will say.
Yeah, the old wait in radio room and then save. not the El Clasico that I think we wanted to see in that round from devils.one, but hey, they saved 3 weapons. They've got that to work with here at least. They force sport up around it, so still a chance, but they can't have that happen again, right? You can't just sit back. That is why you have to pressure across the map. You have to try and draw this utility out from Heroic. And considering they haven't been getting pressured really anywhere, they've sent S-Tag aggressive outside. And this is something we've seen him run a couple of times now, where he takes his forward position and then you look towards someone else to help him out. This time it will be Blame F to try and draw the attention away from Rallen, play that old bait and switch. With him being in secret, though, you won't really have that same effect. You're hoping that devils.one throw this standard wall of smokes and then just don't check S-Tag. He's going to catch a great timing to shut down these players setting up nades. Blame F now emerging as well, and once again this lack of outside pressure is coming back to punish devils.one. Now with the smokes falling to counteract this wall, there's been another wall constructed by Heroic to hold devils.one back.
Tazo not expecting the left peek, and Mertz was ready and waiting with the AWP. 2 players left up for devils.one and 30 seconds to do it. No saves today. They've got to go. They need that loss bonus. Molotov towards the back of Vents. Won't find too much. There's no one here, but there is a man scoped up. It's Stown with the orb, finding the kill. Diha, presence shown and information known. Heroic will shut it down with another round. 3 on this CT side. 3 in a row. Once we've hit the rifles, it's all come up Danes. A bit of Swede in the mix as well, so now the money's going to get, ripped out from underneath the Polish powerhouse as they have to go for an eco. Really nothing here, so this is the kind of buy that you run through a smoke with, Harry, and Heroic have got plenty of those.
Not keen on giving S-Tag freedom towards outside. This time they play here, but they run into Mertz, who has that AWP in hand. Ooh. Bit of a jump scare. Oh, Mouse. Able to find one. Freiburg now hears the tippy tap of feet up above him. Mao's boosted over red to try and clear CT, and he might get rewarded for this. There is a man there. It's S-Tag waiting. Oh, nice little run boost as well to get Diha up close, and far closer than S-Tag should be ready for, but he's still able to mop him up nice and easy.
Oh, I thought Freiburg got the ball bang there for a second, but it is S-Tag to shut it down with 3. AWP is saved. Another round for Heroic. They deal with the eco without too much of a worry. Just 1 casualty there from the Deeg of Mouse. Always good with that Deagle. Always good with the headshots is Mouse. And let's see if he can do some more with these rifles, as now devils.one have guns back in their hands. Heroic, very nice CT start to this map. Now do remember, devils.one took that pistol with the 3-0 lead. They've yet to win a full rifle round. Mertz scoped in. Oh, he's getting spam though. 38 HP as he runs back out of main. Rallen won't find the finishing blow, but devils.one may on ramp. That's where Miles looks. The smoke is there. He might just go ahead of it. There's a massive gap. Blame F not watching it either. He's hiding behind the boxes, so no info on whether the player could be out. He'll check. Oh, bit early. Happens to the best of us.
Mertz is about to get pressured though. Nice shot to find the first man. Now having to concede ramp room. He floats around a bit. He's going to go back in with the repeat, and Mertz dancing with death. Helped out by Blame. Takes 2 to tango, and here they are rising to the occasion. Blame and Mertz holding down the ramp room.
Deadly duo down there. Some nice shots hit by Mertz despite being fully flashed out as well. Catches a couple on the drop down, and yeah, losing Miles straight off the bat as well. The one player that has been so consistent in finding out opening kills throughout, the entirety of this series for the Poles. He was just plucked out of thin air by the blind Mertz. A tactical pause, good time for one. 5 rifle rounds in a row for Heroic, and some words need to be said between devils.one. They need something here. However, money's not exactly going to be in high supply. They've got an eco ahead of them, or at least a half buy. It's pistols and armor.
But nothing is really working for devils.one. You know, since the pistol round, the 2 anti-ecos they won on the back of it, they've got nothing worth mentioning really in this game thus far. The one good thing is that pistol round victory and the conversions on the back of it do kind of supplement a weak start. You know, you can afford to forego a couple of rounds. So you're not feeling the pressure just yet if you're devils.one, but the manner in which Heroic have been winning these rounds, the very decisive situations we've seen them secure, don't instill that much confidence, at least right now. devils.one setting up outside of A once again, and this time they've got Mouse to keep an eye on the outside aggression. They line up all the utility to try and make this play happen, and now they go for the vent dive. They get players down the vents, but BlameF, he is the man who lurks down in the vent position. I think one player did get by him, actually two did. Rallen and Mouse eluding the man in the vents. Now they've got bomb planted and a chance to work into closer angles with these pistols. They buddy up. Freiburg and S-Tag delete them.
But that's a, you know, that's a successful round, Harry. I can never say that word. Bomb plant, bit of extra money. You know, you'd like some kills off the back of it, but not the end of the world that you don't get it. Now we're going to have money for devils.one. Now we're going to have guns, and the AWP is a possibility again, something to fight up against Mertz in the yard. He has been a bit of a tank here on the CT side so far.
He has it at such a crucial time. Him and S-Tag both finding success here. Freiburg keeping up his strong performances. And that's exactly what we need to see from Heroic. This time outside aggression looks to be the answer for devils.one. S-Tag working his way into this close position once again. Won't be helped out by Mertz, who instead rotates away and leaves the sole responsibility of outside on the back of S-Tag. It's a tall order indeed. And this outside aggression has been a consistent factor from this man, so surely Devils check the close angle. They do indeed, and that's where not having Mertz here to play into that bait and switch comes back to hurt Heroic. Now he posts himself up to try and get the trade, but there's so many players outside, so many players forcing their way into these closer angles now, and Mertz getting dinked up, forced off the angle. It's getting very claustrophobic for him towards outside. The Molotov's heating things up, still dancing around, still alive. BlameF gonna shut down Rallen, but Manice here does deal with the AWP towards outside. Might not matter because BlameF and Stown finding 3 kills between them. Mouse gets a trade. 2v2 as they try and hit the A-bomb site, but that's where Freiburg pounces from up on the rafters.
Yeah, and Taz alone here. They've not seen him all round. They spotted him earlier on the hut roof, but they did kill one that dropped off, so not aware that maybe he's still here. Blame with the info play. He gets the dink, but not the kill. Taz, 3 HP the difference, but that might just be enough. He's got a chance to lurk down towards B and get a bomb plant. Freiburg cannot stop him. He will not be there in time, but he will hear these footsteps down below. Actually, it's going to be very, very close behind. Taz is going to get the plant in, but Freiburg's going to be right on the immediate peak. Taz climbs up. Freiburg plays for the door. And Taz, oh, he might have just caught him off guard. This is a big brain rotation. Freiburg, oh, he's not looking. Taz misses a shot. Freiburg wins a round. It was all in favor of him. Freiburg had his back turned. Oh.
Was that 4x3 to death? Did Taz just get 4x3'd? It certainly felt like it.
Yeah.
Either that or maybe his gun model was blocking Freiburg, but he definitely had him on the screen there.
That's the kind of situation where you're 4x3'd and one of your teammates that play 16x9 goes, guys, he's to your right, he's to your right. That's every time I play CS, that's what happens to me. Connor shouts at me that I've been 4x3'd, and it happens a lot. It actually really does. So, yeah, you can see Freiburg. Nice reaction there. A bit shocked. But he gets the round for Heroic. And Harry, that's the worst for devils.one, right? That was a doable situation. And now, you know, flawless 7 rounds in a row for Heroic has kept up. It's yet to be quelled by that of devils.one, who took the 3-0 lead and then slowed down once again. Harry, do remind me, what was it on Overpass that led to devils.one's demise? It was that T side.
It very much was.
And now it's coming back to haunt them on Nuke again.
Yeah, I mean, at least, right? At least they got the pistol round, they got the conversions, they're sitting with 3. You know, if you can get 2 more, it's a pretty decent T-side.
But if not,
then it's not that much of a decent T-side.
Wow.
Yeah, that's sort of how it works. That's sort of how the cookie crumbles, Hugo.
And it really is crumbling right now. Heroic, they are in the boulangerie. Is that bakery? I think so.
I don't know. I don't know what that
That's
is.
French. I don't even speak French.
Boulangerie.
Yeah, boulangerie. I don't know. Boulangerie. I don't speak French, man. What am I doing?
No, me either. And I don't try to.
frags.
My favorite language. S-Tag in with the response. He's also a man fluent in the fragging department. Blame gonna rear his head. No stranger to a kill or 2, but Taz in with the response. It's at 2-on-3. Taz in with another big kill from him to find Mertz. devils.one setting up outside of this A-bomb site. Freiburg on top of the hut is a real threat here. Mal's just having to wait for Taz to get into position. S-Tag and Freiburg back to back. Now he's going to start to edge his way in. Finds Freiburg, and S-Tag now asked to step up. Will they anticipate the second player in the hut? They certainly will. They smoke him off. Heartbreak for S-Tag. But this bomb now only just going down.
I like that. He times the reload with the audio of bomb has been planted. He heard the bomb get put down in the first place, walks back, gets the reload, and they have no idea exactly where it was. But they do have an idea of where he was, at least earlier. As he tries to get back aggressive through the hut. Long rotation. Now he's on it. He's won the round. He saved the day. 2 kills for him and Taz apiece. And devils.one finally pick up a rifle round. Question is how many more, Harry, because with money still in the pockets of Heroic, they can look to try and get this reset back on, shut down this T-side before it builds up too dangerously. 4 rounds is not a worry. But as you say, 5, that's a decent T-side half, so...
And that's why you imagine this tactical pause comes in now. It's a very crucial juncture in this first half. It's either where we see Heroic get back on top of things, or we see devils.one start to look like contenders in this third map once again. And for Heroic, right, this is such an important time now. They've been a team that's gotten so close in almost every series they've played. You know, they've looked competitive, they've looked good, they've taken maps, but they've never found a series, not yet. And that can make all the difference. It's a very cutthroat format indeed. And this time, devils.one, fast outside play. They get everyone down through secret early. Freiburg in the vents to try and keep them at bay, but he gets beheaded. And now Mertz, very deep inside of this bomb site. Maybe might blindside a few players here and there. The issue is he's fully surrounded, tries to swivel, and he gets trapped.
It was a nice try. He was trying to make a play, trying to save the day here for Heroic, because right now, 2-on-5, Blame F getting caught on the rotate round. It's not looking like a doable situation for Heroic. They may have money, but they have no interest in trying to retake, would rather save. Mertz and S-Tag's cash is fairly low, so save does make all the difference when it comes to getting that buy up in the follow-up round, and that they definitely want. devils.one, now 2 in a row. Up to that 5-round half so far, Harry. And what do they say about 5 rounds on T-side Nuke?
It's enough, mate.
Yeah,
you've done well, haven't you? Holding on to this one gun is actually very important, by the way. They can still get a buy, but you would have loved to have been able to drop the AUG over and, you know, redistribute that money over on the CT side. They don't get the joy of that, though, Hugo. The joy of monetary management would just be money management.
That's not really a joy either.
It's not, is it?
Unless you're an accountant.
Then it's probably great. But yeah, for normal folk like you and I, not that accountants aren't normal. Although you do have to be a bit like, you know, into numbers and everything to go into that line of work. I couldn't stomach it. S-Tag certainly could though, because he is racking up the frag tally outside. Maybe not though, actually. Mertz and Stow might have just saved this. It's very back and forth in the outside portion of the map once again. As and D left standing, but these two have been so consistently terrifying on the side of devils.one. It's not a done deal just yet. This bomb is at the feet of Stown inside of the A site. That smoke raining into Mini facilitates a slow creep forward from Mouse. And Stown brought down low earlier on in the round. Will get finished off. Blame F up in the heavens, and Mertz starting to wrap around in through Mini. No smoke to keep this peak from coming through. And Mao's not covering it. Had Blame taken that first initial gunfight, it might have been able to find him out and go untraded, and it will nonetheless. Mao's shutting down Mertz now into the 1v1. Blame on Mao's and playing with the time, playing with his food. He spots him, and Blame accidentally dropping from the heavens. That will be the round going the way of devils.one. Now they're on 6th. You know, you can't play the Blame game too hard and put the pressure there on the IGL of Heroic.
Especially not when it's against Mouse, Harry. 4 kills from him. Huge rifle round from the Mad Fragger himself. Keeping devils.one in this game. Not just keeping them in the game, but propelling them forward. 6-7 here. They may be down in terms of rounds, but not only are they set up to equalize it here and now, but T-side, very good half so far. 7 on the horizon with pistols in play for Heroic. Smoke's in the yard, but it's only an illusion here from devils.one, and Heroic know it. They have close red box players as well. Blame F is pushed. Going to see Stown go back inside of this A bomb site. S-Tag with a full rotate as well. Knowing that this isn't a yard play, so it might be an inner crunch. That seems to be a good call. Maniz moving forward with the AWP. Still got to clear out Stown from this close corner. That can be a bit of a problem. But devils.one are taking their time with this. Player on top of the hut. It's going to be the first point of contact, but Stown trying to take their attention. He's not going to get spotted. Now they're out. Now he shoots. Now pot shots rally off. Freiburg's caught, peeking from the top. Taz trying to strafe out wide. His teammates with Stown caught in main. S-Tag tries to jump over, but caught by Taz. This is looking very good for devils.one, and Mertz will find nothing of the matter. It is 7 on this T side.
And the potential now for devils.one to actually win out this half with an 8-7 scoreline over on the T side of things. That would be phenomenal, considering the fact that they were looking down a 7-3 scoreline at one point in time with just the pistol and those conversions to their name. They've done a stellar job of not just making this competitive, but putting themselves in the advantageous position. Rifles out on either side for the last round of the first half. Pressure falling in the Heroic department here. They don't have much to rely on in this round. Or at least on Mertz. Blame F taking this defensive position over towards Secret, helped out by Freiburg. But such a heavy rotation down to B on the back of these the outside smokes alone. You can see Freiburg decides to head back to the A-bomb site, and S-Tag with a great shot to find Maniz. The Org besting the AWPer, who's still struggling a bit here in this match.
Oh, they line up. Bit of damage, spread thinly. Won't be able to convert it to a kill. 1 minute on the clock, and he is getting encroached on by these yard players, trying to split main as well. It's Diha spraying through the smoke. Heaven peek well timed. Stown catches another, and S-Tag peeks on the back of it. Bomb dropped in the yard. It's Miles in a 1-on-4. Does have the drop on Stown, and he'll drop down below as well. Flash to the yard. Drops with it. But, okay, now they know. Third drop, unlucky. That's what they say, Harry. And 1v3, 30 seconds. Not even got the bomb yet. You're asking for a lot.
Yeah, Blame F, the man over in Secret, is really the failsafe for this round for Heroic. He's the unknown factor, and Mao's okay, missed shot, but Blame will correct it. And he shuts down the last man. An 8-7 scoreline salvaged by the Heroic boys as they now sit with just one round to their advantage heading into their T-side half. It's going to be an uphill battle indeed as the polls move on to the more favored side. We need to see some real heroics from the Danes. Can they answer the call, or will the polls step up in the second half? Find out after a quick break.
I'll show you how it's done. There's no sight to be go inside. The man is the one. You build your walls with faith in God. They never come around. Then wonder why we all defy the burden to be born. We're coming home with a mission to bring an end to a terrible land. We are here to your omission. We are many of one. We're coming home with a mission to tear you down from your undeserved throne. We can take your conviction. We are many of one. You may call it a virus, but we call it the antidote. It's an answer to silence. The future is here to revolt. Go!
8-7 is the score. Heroics sit in the lead, but by the skin of their teeth. devils.one mount a comeback on the T side for what seemed like a dominant CT half for Heroic, and devils.one taking a wildfinder rifle round. Suddenly they come out with a flurry of frags and find a pretty decent T side, all things considered. Now, Harry, the comeback starts with one thing, and that one thing is the pistol.
Yeah, it might start there, or it might start later. You know, there's still plenty of room for either one of these two teams at this point in time, right? You are split as even as it comes, 8-7. The pistol round underway, and Heroic with the fast A play already cornering a man out from the bomb site. They barrel through, but Taz and Manice are delivering on the other side of things. Pistol round's over. Forget about that. It's all said and done. And devils.one and 8th picked up as they find another pistol.
I mean, these men are the master of the A rush themselves, Harry. The first 3 rounds of their T side were fast A plays off of the spawn, so you damn well know they're going to be able to deal with one thrown their way. Great shots from Taz on top of the hut. He keeps that round alive for his side. Now all equaled up. You think 8-7's equal? Well, look at 8-8. It's the new 8-7. Odds on Betway slightly favouring Heroic, but as said, it is anyone's game here, and Heroic are now on the tougher side of 2, plus no pistol. That's not favourable. But what will they find? It's a force buy with Deegs, S-Tag with a scout, and oh my Sweet old S-tag. He even gets the tag to Rallen. Flash up into main, but the peak came too early from Mertz. In the meantime, Freiburg's already out on ramp with a kill, and this is falling apart for devils.one.
Yeah, Freiburg's gained a bit of ground down here towards B. Heroic would love to do something with it. Stown wrapping onto Taz, and while Taz does pick that up, it's not without great cost. Blame F gonna dig down D-Hut. Man advantage sits with Heroic right now. Rallen wrapping back onto the man in heaven. It's a wrap on wrap.
Oh.
Jump scare. S-Tag and Freiburg remaining in this round. Ooh.
That was heard.
Yeah. Not intentional, not by design, but Freiburg just leaving the ramp room as Rallen takes up position here. And the bulk of this is going to fall onto the back of Rallen now. Taz brought down low earlier on in the round. Really is relying on his teammate to step up, and as he walks over Freiburg, Rallen checks it, flicks down, S-Tag left alive. And while he gets some damage off, it's not going to be enough. The round will be converted by the Poles. They take the lead in this matchup. And for Heroic now, with the bomb going down, they can definitely throw a bit more into this round. And that's pretty big, right? They can look to keep the economy of devils.one on this back foot over on the CT side of things.
And Mani's still struggling, man. He had a pretty rough one back on overpass. Same story here.
To help him out, though, right, on the other side of things, Stown is having a pretty weak series, not even weak map. He was someone who, throughout the games for Heroic, looked to be a pretty promising player, right, to keep an eye on. But he's fallen very quiet throughout this entire series. And now, as well, a pretty crucial juncture. Mertz hasn't exactly been delivering on the Heroic side of things. And that, you know, is somewhat the perfect answer for Manice. The fact that he hasn't really had a strong AWP to go up against him on the other side of the thing. On the other side of the equation, rather.
Oh, Manice scoped in. They could elude him by peeking closer. He's got to be careful there. The FOV decreased when you scope with that AUG. Blame, he's trying to completely remove the FOV of Manice by finding that headshot, but unable to do so with the Deagle. Rallen climbing up above and beyond for this yard fight. Manice, even more damage. He is the assist king right now, at least. 6 of them. At least setting his teammates up for success. And oh my lord, what a shot from Mertz. Wow. Still shouldn't transpire to too much in this round, but style points are up there. Put that in the montage. Mertz looks for a little more, but Manice with the peak takes his second of the round and triples it as well. That'll be a bit of a confidence booster as we get into this CT side. Another round taken and double digits locked in.
That's devastating. He was $50 short of getting the AWP with head armor behind it. He will forego that. And that leaves him a bit more squishy to these rifles over on the side of devils.one. So will they have a squeeze? Let's see.
Flames on top of the silo, but nothing outside fighting here for Devils. They decided to give up the yard with no AWP of their own and expectant of Mertz on his. It will be watched by D-Hut in the spawn. One thing I will say is if you're going to play the position that D-Hut is currently playing, I'd love to see one of the AUG players here instead. This is not a favourable fight for an M4 over an AUG. AUG far more versatile there. So maybe that's something we'll see in the future. But a small detail that won't really matter too much because it's not a yard play despite the smokes going down. It's Heroic setting up towards the ramp with Freiburg on the lurk.
Oh, and he'll get shut down by the aggressive Manice towards outside. Might have had a pretty slow start to this map, but he's finding his footing on the outside portion. This B ramp play actually does go the way of Heroic. They've somehow managed to pick up both players here. And it's battle stations now for devils.one. This B bomb site has fallen. Ooh. 3 players here, but I mean, it's not every day you see this in the post plant. They huddle together for warmth around that bomb. They get it planted.
That door got opened with the smoke inwards to Taz because the smoke collided with it when he opened. I don't know if they're not going to be aware that that door is still open. He won't have to make a noise to get through this, and that could catch them off. Spray through the floors down so low. Taz will finish off the job. Both players doubled up side by side, huddled for warmth in the corner, and Blame going to hit one. No molly to get him out of position. Surely Taz doesn't expect the second player. So many angles, so many spots, and he's not even seeing S tag this round. He'll go down. It's Heroic salvaging it on the T side. I like that double setup. Dangerous, knowing if there's utility on the CT side, but a gamble that pays off.
Yeah, it's a high-risk, high-reward situation, right? Because if there's one Molotov up on the side of devils.one and that goes in, you are in a world of hurt. But thankfully for Heroic, there wasn't one left up on the side of the Devils, and so that double set up, the bait and switch prevails and yields some results. Tactical pause called in now. I mean, all the pressure is in the Heroic camp, right? I mean,
yeah.
For these guys, it's the difference between finishing fourth and finishing third.
Yeah, that is true as well. I mean, yeah. I mean, devils.one, it's said that this is their Super Bowl, right? This is their breakout, and they're looking to do so. Already taking down NIP yesterday, looking to add another Scandinavian roster to the mix. The hit list, potentially. Rallen. So many nades, doesn't know which one to throw, and his indecision lands him a corner clip. That is unfortunate. Oh, Rallen, come on, buddy. Twice in a row. I mean, those didn't look like they were going to hit the wall. The reason they did is he was so close. You hate to see it. Nade's not a strong point. Headshots are.
So once again, it's just the outside play from Heroic, like outside smokes rather, going down just to try and set up the fact that they could have had players cross into Secret, and that's actually great because it keeps Diha and Mao's at this portion of the map. That's two of the rifles down at B. So as this A-side play now comes through, Taz really does have to deliver. He's got players in the vents to try and ascend up into A to help him out. Stown finds the first man. There's the fast flank from Diha. Very rare that you see a man get up through the vents when this A-side play comes in, but it's all a ruse. Here's the real play. Down through ramp. Go Heroic. They're not ready for Mouse. He's already posted up here. Shutting down another. Trying to go for the double. Might not matter though because his team are making quick work of Heroic.
Oh.
Freiburg is lucky to be alive and he knows it. Trying to get the bomb down, Diha can deny it, and now there's only 7 seconds. Blame F has to find both these kills, and there's just no time. devils.one with just 3 rifles and a couple of pistols invested in this round find themselves an 11th.
Just holding on to the lead, Harry. Skin of their teeth as devils.one take that, and the AWP is even dragged forward for what I'd imagine would be Maniz, but we have seen Diha pull it up from time to time in this series, so especially back on Overpass. But no, Maniz has started to find his form in the second half, and so he will be taking it, I imagine, towards a yard, although under question. Playing passive towards the spawn, he sits. Heroic denied the fast A entrance from those Molotovs. Freiburg, he is very deep in the yard. The thing is, Maniz is still scoped in on this position, so he won't be able to get down to Secret with at least the information there for devils.one. And that's a bare minimum. devils.one don't want to allow a cross down towards B because it means one of their players has to rotate back around. Freiburg will get there though, so now this is going to spell a couple of problems for devils.one, especially with that pick. Blame F opens up on ramp. Diha turns around because of the flashbang, and he sprays and prays. One for him, one for Rallen. I was on somewhere else entirely, though. Maniz going to move in with the AWP. He does get revenge. Blame dead, but Mertz is already here with a plant, and Freiburg found his way through the yard earlier.
Freiburg's going to hear these players rotating in through Secret, but he finds himself alone and armorless. The shotgun on Taz will lock in this 12th round for devils.one. Bomb plant was a necessity for Heroic, and they are able to get it at the very least, so they've got that to look forward to. The AWP can be brought out here on Mertz, and that might be the turning point that they needed. Now, as mentioned, we haven't seen too much from the AWP of Heroic just yet. Now more than ever, we need to see why we used to dub this man 300 Hertz Mertz.
And yeah, if there was a time for Heroic to start to recover, it would be now. devils.one encroaching on that 16. Mertz not going for the door pick here. He will just hold back. It's going to be just a lobby default here for the T side, holding on to the yard push as well. Taz, he's not holding on for anything. He's getting aggressive in the hut. There's Tag watching from above on the rafters. But smoke in the hut will keep Taz contained. He's not going to go any further. It's almost his team saying, get out of there. Utility starting to diminish here for devils.one as well. Only 2 incendiaries left, and the key is Heroic have thrown not a single nade this round but 1 flash, so they've saved on to all of their utility. Ready to go for this execute now. Smokes towards outside, the bomb going to be following as well.
Well, they managed to get Freiburg into Secret, but that does not look to be the end game. Now setting up to try and take control over towards CT. D-Hat almost catching that timing there. He gets a bit of chip damage off on a West Tag. Taz, in the meantime, pushing into the hut, has cleared this portion of the map for his team. Ooh. D-Hat actually decides to leave Heaven and gives this up. Hands it over to Heroic. Will be telegraphed, but with this 3-pronged approach, look at it come in. Oh, I was going to say it might be good for Heroic, but blink of an eye, everyone is dead on the Danish side of things, and the Poles managing to keep all 5 players alive. That is so clean. With Heaven being taken, with Mini under their control and the hot push coming in, that almost looked like a set round for Heroic. It gets snatched away from them. Now, for those who are just tuning in, the reason why this map is so important, but especially for the side of Heroic, is throughout Group B of the Pro League, they've been able to consistently take maps away from the other 2 teams that they faced, NIP and FaZe. They managed the map apiece versus them. And what that means is even though they've gotten close in these series, even though they've almost done it, the fact that they haven't picked a map win up yet means that losing this series, they finish 4th. If they win it, NIP finish 4th, and Heroic ascend all the way up to 2nd, guaranteeing their ability to come back, continue competing in the Pro League for that slot at the Grand Finals. Now, would be heartbreaking to have seen them pick up maps in every series, only to fall short now at the very end. You need that one final push. If you're Heroic, you need to have these players stepping up. We haven't had that just yet, but this buy here could be the start of something, or it could be the end.
Yeah, it's not looking like the kind of buy that you want to pull into this scoreline, Harry, but left without many options. Heroic still up in the lobby, still yet to make a decision. They'll bail out to set up smokes for the yard once again. Don't have to commit with those. It's just the illusion. These smokes provide the illusion that maybe someone got down towards B, and if devils.one don't play this aggressive yard control, which they're not, they have to rotate a player down towards B as a result. That will be Mouse in this round as he falls down the ramp room. Now Tarsov watching Secret. This makes that A defense weaker, but devils.one are ready for it. They hear the smokes, they hear the fire, and Taz is going to spray away, but he's on fire on top of the hut. Stown takes a kill. It's just Deha left at back of the site, all alone, trying to defend this for devils.one, but he can't find a kill for it. S-Tag drops him, and Heroic's A attack works out wonderfully. Maniz and Mouse, last 2 are up for devils.one, and a save will have to be called. There's no way they can get back into A. Their money's fine, but not fine enough to risk giving away guns, especially not the AWP.
A big and much needed round from Heroic. And the fact they've been able to keep it so clean, considering the buy was pretty dire, it's pretty spectacular in the Heroic camp. So they're going to reach double digits themselves. And once again, it's another close map with the promise of, well, not the promise, but potentially the full 30-round game. But I mean, this one to me still feels like an overtime waiting to happen. I'm not even kidding, right? With how competitive both these teams have looked, but at the same time, with how Devils have routinely been in the lead in these situations and then had it elude them, and how good Heroic have been at grinding their way back into it. I do just feel like this is all the makings of an overtime waiting to happen. Now you have both teams with very little money to build upon, right? Heroic actually sitting in the advantageous position in that regard. And that's always been the story of these games, right? Is the winning team, things are looking good, but the rounds are close. And with the new economy changes, the second the team on the back foot steals one away, they can try and fling themselves, slingshot themselves into the lead. So this round for Heroic is a massive one. This is how they get back into things. This is how they bring this game close. This is how they try and make the run that they've had not for nothing.
Molly towards ramp, though. That'll keep Diha back, and it gives Heroic the room to drop down towards that B bomb site. The AWP still here, did retreat. They spotted it earlier. Diha's going to go back towards A as Taz has wrapped in, collapsed behind them. They cannot retreat. They have to hit B, but Freiburg's found the entry to facilitate that. Taz can now fully flank, and Maniz needs something here. He can't afford a double miss shot, but that's exactly what he'll get. S-Tag with another entry, and the B site has been uplifted. Taz has to try and take the wind out of their sails. But it's just Diha alone now, and he's realized the grave economy that is devils.one. Got to give it away. Heroic get a bomb plant and they get the round. It's going to be 11 here on the T side. And Harry, that picture that you just painted is looking to become a reality here as Heroic slowly but surely claw their way back into this matchup. Yeah,
at least if you hold on to this one rifle, you have yourself a buy in the following round. So devils.one, they're actually able to dodge that situation I just described if they keep Diha alive. And yeah, for now. That's very true. Everything's on a timer here. You know, both these teams running on fumes to try and cross this finish line. It's like a drag race, but you haven't refilled the cars before you've done it. So it's a real war of attrition here on either side of the equation.
It's a drag race with pedlos, Harry, in the water. Like, who's got faster legs?
Pedlos have infinite fuel. And also, a normal race would have been a perfect analogy for who's got faster legs, because that is the very nature of them. Like,
all right, don't tear down my analogy.
No, man, I will on this one, Hugo. I like the dedication of the pedalo.
The reason I say pedalo is because you got a lot of baggage, Harry. You got a lot of people to drag forward. You know, it's not always a team effort. Sometimes it's one man that can make a difference. And who will be one of those many, many men on this T side for Heroic? Because they have got many men. But which man will devils.one mind as they set up once again 4 rifles with the exception of Taz on the shotgun. No AWP. Mertz has his. BlameF sets a smoke up here. Staring aggressively into the ground. Smoke coming down on ramp as well. Heroic going back towards a spawn. You know, default early to make sure that devils.one don't get aggressive in the lobby, and then they go for these smokes. Issue is there's a different setup now. Not only is Maniz in the yard, but Diha is down below, making sure they cannot push or prod any further. That molly prevents his vision, which gives Heroic the opportunity to split main and go back for one of these A plays, but the flash is there and Diha might try and get aggressive with it. He gets counter flashed by the T side. Now they molly him off again. They know he's here, so they'll try and split A.
Oh, and a big kill from Mertz comes through. Are they ready for Taz, who's armed with the auto shotgun atop the hut? They're also not ready for Diha. It's a flat mowdown. devils.one about to pick up their 14th, unless BlameF has something to say about it, and he won't. Diha silences him. 14-11.
And opting not to get the AWP as well at the end of that round. They know that Heroic have been hitting them with these really fast inner bomb site takes. Not exactly fighting for yard control. The ramp has been a problem as well. And with Maniz, you know, definitely recovered, don't get me wrong, in the second half, but he's had a slow game. Maybe not feeling the AWP here for devils.one. Mertz will still have his, though. And this could be the breaking point, Harry. 14 rounds to devils.one. One away from that guarantee of at least overtime. Wouldn't be too bad. Mertz is fast playing the yard here with this AWP. And as said, none on the CT side to stop him, but they will give it a go with the rifles. Mertz has found his way down towards B. He's caught a timing. Now, I don't know if these CTs even realize this, because they were late to rotate out of heaven down towards the yard, and there was never a smoke placed by Heroic. Mertz's position is completely unaware, or at least untelegraphed to devils.one. For now, because of course, to get any further within B, he has to break a window or open a door or crack a vent.
One of the ways that we so often see players get around this is you either try and break the glass up at A or swing squeaky open at the same time as those doors down on B. So that might be the solution here for Heroic if they want to keep this play hidden. They might elect to do exactly that. Squeaky door is there, so they definitely could try, but Taz not waiting around. We'll get finished off by Stan at least. Mertz has been able to get out, and the timing, they just go by one another. The yin to his yang as they've gone and traded places. It's Freaky Friday inside of the B bomb site, and now blameF and Mertz punctuating the scoreboard with 2 between them. Rallen, 15 seconds on the clock here, and he's just looking to try and deny this bomb plant as the players pour into this bomb site, though. He is surrounded, finds the first man. Mertz up in the heavens does create a bit of a problem here. Molly going to force the peek from Freiburg, but there's blameF from the rafters to shut down Rallen. This leaves Manice 1-on-3. You could even make a case for saving here if you're devils.one, and that does look to be the call. He doesn't want to peek into this bomb site and give this gun away, so he will just back off, concede the 12th round to Heroic.
I mean, that's all off the back of the timing, right? The ramp push, the 2 entrances where Manice and Mertz swap places. If Manice just gets that kill, or even if he goes down, that's the information for the CTs to play off the back of. It would have meant that Manice wouldn't have had to be left alone inside of that B site for so long, delaying his rotation back up towards A and resulting in the save. Even his death there might have actually been beneficial to devils.one. Instead, they're left in a 1-on-3, and the save call coming through. devils.one buying up once again. Limitations, but what can you do? Rallen, the top fragger in the entire server, is playing pistol at 14-12. Not what you want. Smokes towards A. That will be for the vent play, but Heroic are not going to go aggressively off the back of it. The wall spam as these CTs push up into the lobby. Manice gets a 1-for-1. Do they know Miles is here? Yes, they do, but he gets the kill regardless. S-Tag gets picked up. The smoke gets missed, and that could be a problem for Miles. He can't back off through it. Or he might have to, rather. He can't hold on aggressively. Alan's watching that outside wrap as well with a deagle from main. Blame's got to make a noise to fall off at the top of this main position as well. But he will be greeted and joined by his teammates. They are being allowed to cross down towards Secret if they do so, please. But Ryland's watching that CT wrap, at least for now, until the smoke comes down.
In response to this, though, Rallen's going to hear these footsteps, and now keep your eye on Taz, because he's pushed into the hut, and he's secured this avenue for devils.one. If he goes any further, he gets the information that this portion of the map is clear, and even then, just having a man in the hut to emerge with that auto shotgun is a pretty terrifying thing to try and deal with. Rallen catches the timing onto Mertz, and now Freiburg not able to trade that. It relies on blameF in the heavens to try and have a big impact here to keep Heroic in this map. Freiburg dealt with, and Blame blindsided by Dia. They time that peak so well. He shoots up the ladder. And Heroic, now they need 3 rounds in a row if they want to drag this one through to overtime. As I've already highlighted, they took maps versus the best teams in this group, FaZe and NIP. They got close in both series, but fell short. And a loss here for Heroic means that they fall into 4th. They will not be returning to keep on playing for that shot in the finals. It really is all on the line, and devils.one just 1 round away from crossing it. blameF fast play towards the hut. Will deal with Rallen. Taz holding close, and Dia's going to find one, but the kill's all coming up for Heroic. It's Taz's auto shotgun to try and send them packing. He's only good for one, and S-Tag in with another. The force buy will prevail. Heroic keep the dream alive.
2 more rounds, Harry, and very doable as well. The money is going to be starting to call into question for devils.one. They've got to call the eco. There's no way you buy here. So Heroic, they're going to get gifted a 14th off the back of this. Well, I say gifted, not exactly gifted, but at least gift wrapped. If they can open it, that's the task, and not too difficult of one. Tactical pause coming out as well. Both teams can benefit from this. A lot of talking to be had, especially from the side of devils.one. Not wanting to give this up, not wanting to let this go overtime, which can, of course, be anyone's game. Right now, Devils sit in a lead of 2. Freiburg Reese probably a good time for it.
I mean, if he suddenly turns it around, we know why.
Yeah, there's a solution. It works, yeah.
I know, I'm skeptical, but we'll see, we'll see. It is just the eco from devils.one. And you gotta say, right, this game definitely feels like it has overtime potential, and now that rings more true than ever. Just the pistols to try and overthrow.
No.
But we've seen these lobby crunches work for devils.one. Just yesterday, this netted them so many rounds versus NIP. They've already found one man here. How are Heroic going to respond to this? S-Tag just jumps in there to save that gun. Gets it out from the prying eyes of devils.one.
That's a CSGO equivalent of jumping in front of a bullet for someone. Get down, Mr. President. That gun being removed from devils.one's repertoire has left them with just pistols, no armor, no utility, low HP on Deha as well. Heroic may be down a man, but they don't need to get too worried. Just stay grouped, make sure you can trade your way to this victory. Murd's going to look to do that up towards main as well. Blame, does he check the corner? Yes, of course he does. Rowland's dead, back into a 4-on-4. And a minute to do it. Heroic don't have to rush this round. Climbing up into the heaven on both sides of things. Miles will also be timed up the ladder. Blame F coming to meet him and could be facilitated by a flashbang as well for the peak. Now he'll just go dry. It will work wonderfully. S-Tag as well. Another entry. This A site beginning to crumble. Taz in the middle of the open, and Blame will shut him down. It's Maniz alone here. The lobby crunch may have worked, but Heroic have avoided. Back into the A site. 20 seconds left as that bomb goes down. And a 14th round with 1 more left of regulation.
What a way for this final map to go in this series, right? This was one that had the promise of very much upsetting the results of Group B, and it seems only fitting that it's going to go the full 30 rounds and the potential for even more thrown in at the very end.
devils.one probably having deja vu to yesterday. 4x3, Maniz, he just walked past someone. Not the first time he's done that. Not a worry. Wouldn't make too much difference anyway. But yeah, I mean, think back to yesterday, the game versus NIP. devils.one, 19-17 win on overtime on Nuke in the 3rd map of that series, late into the night. Everything is the same, Harry. But will they be the victors twice in a row? Who knows as we get into round number 30. It's all on the line here.
No AWP in sight for Maniz. Now, it's something that they've been willfully giving up on the side of devils.one, so it shouldn't matter all too much. Heroic, they've worked long and they've worked hard to get to this point in time, trying to secure an OT. For these guys, it is their life here at the Pro League on the line. Ali Nade reins in to hold back this outside play from Heroic. Taz has felt like the Grim Reaper for these old Nip boys. You know, he took down Forest and Get Right just yesterday. He's trying to best Freiburg again here. Will it happen again, though? Heroic. They've got secret control. They're edging forward. devils.one with no one in this B-bomb site. Instead, you've got this double setup down towards ramp to swoop in and save the day. Heroic will get B, and a bomb plant can come through here with Maniz only just rearing his head from the ramp. He does at least have Mouse to support him. They're going to try and take this peak, though, and actually, Mouse is somehow able to win that. That's not a fight he should have been able to get away with. No trades come through in spite of the heavy presence. Maniz goes through that smoke, and that's maybe a bit overzealous there as Freiburg catches him on the corner of that smoke. Blame F going to throw even more chaos into this round as he dispatches of Rallen and Taz with this auto shotgun. Players about to come up through the vent, but peeking just a couple of seconds too soon. Hugo, overtime is looking likely. Maus and Diha remaining 2 on 4 required. Bomb down and plenty of time to facilitate these post plants if you're heroic. It's down holding for this peak from the heavens, and he's going to spot the first man. Does get dinked, but he gets the info, and that might be enough.
No kit either, Maus. First of 4 here, it's just Diha left in the 1-on-4. Heroic don't even need to take this fight, but confidence flowing through their veins, I can only imagine. This looks as done as anything. We're heading to overtime unless Diha will not shut this one down. It's going to be 15-15, and Heroic, what a grind back into this game that they've shown us. And I got to say, I think a 16-14 would have been really heartbreaking, considering Heroic have been the team throughout this tournament, as we've said, so close, so many times, so many maps, but no wins, Harry. And hey, even if they lose in overtime, that will add on more insult to injury. But now they have the opportunity to pick up the game, something that wasn't a factor in regulation with devils.one taking 15. Well, now they both sit standard. AWP in for the T side, not for Maniz. He's shied away from that in this second half. In this map, really. Now spamming the smoke. He's not had to deal with too many ramp splits, but this is going to be a fast one. Upon the reload, they rush him down. They get control of Hell as well. He'll just drop down towards B. In the meantime, Freiburg's also lurking through the yard, but Diha has caught him through that smoke and even gets down back towards Secret as well. So now Maus off angle here. Gun barrel shown. He lines up 1. The trade is there, but it's a 4-on-3 for devils.one.
Oh, they try and double up in through the window. Mertz gets blindsided by the second man, and that's the bomb dropped. Heroic now relying on Stown, and he is completely surrounded, but that's a wrist-breaking flick. Still needs more, still needs even more impressive shots to come through, and it's not happening. Rallen will delete him. So devils.one taking the first round in overtime here on their CT side.
The game that keeps on giving, Harry, and we're not done just yet. Back in with another buy round for Heroic. Still on this AWP for Mertz. I don't know when the last time I saw him get a kill with it as well. It has been long overdue for Heroic. They need one of these opening frags. Another yard play for Heroic again. They've got plenty of players behind this red box, but no smoke to facilitate the cross. They're just going to try and get down dry now, making noise while doing so the CTs do know. Had that rotate of Diha down into this position as well, keeping an eye for a potential vents drop, but that has not been the case. It's crawling down this stairwell with the bomb. Blame coming to join as well. They don't have to commit towards B. They can always back up into the yard once again. This main smoke denies information in the way of devils.one. Rallen tasked with stopping this wrap through the yard. Blame won't check the right side of the garage. He's going to go down. Rallen still staying alive with the smoke down. Maniz finds another kill, and Freiburg's been tagged up as well. This round is falling apart for Heroic. Diha in the vents as well to shut down this push with the bomb. Stown is still stuck in the lobby, and he's kind of been hung out to dry in this position. Not much he can get done, and the same story for Mertz as well. 9 HP for Freiburg, and Diha looks to get rid of him.
Yeah, bomb dropped. Stown falls shortly after. A flawless second round there from the Polish CT side, and what a CT side it's been. They ought to be kicking themselves that they couldn't find the success in regulation. But they're finding it now in overtime, maybe just wanting to get Heroic believing before they crush their dreams.
And 1 round left. Heroic need it, Harry. They can't afford to go down 0-3 on this T side. It gives them no option to win it in that second half, no matter how good they are. Bare minimum, another overtime or a loss. So this round is more than necessary for Heroic. Boost up on ramp. First time we've seen that with 30+ rounds in. This really will catch someone off guard if Heroic go charging towards the ramp, and with them heavily set up in the lobby, that may be a factor to worry about. S-Tag has another AWP here for Heroic, trying to meander around the yard, but he's already been taken down by Rallen in the garage. Setting up smokes as well. Re-smoke to cut off Stown here. Where do Heroic even go? Looking like the A play, but Taz on top of the hut as well, and still 3 players committed here. It's not going to be an easy one.
And this is just a last-ditch attempt from Heroic to try and find something in that last round of T-side overtime. Flash is raining in. Taz off the top of the hut. The bomb tries to get down in through the vents. They wanted to go for the B plate. Won't come through. Manice misses that spray onto Mertz, but Mouse is already posted up here, and with that bomb getting dropped, Blame thrown into the 1v4. Taz is already locking down the angle. He will get down through the vents, but he is being very loud, and yeah, with this bomb so far away, there's no hope for the young Danish IGL. This is all said and done. devils.one will be taking an 18-15 scoreline. 19 is the magic number we are looking for, and at the end of this first half of overtime, devils.one are just 1 round away from it. Hugo, you said how it would be crushing to have pulled it back and then lose 14-16. The only thing that might be more crushing than that for Heroic is securing the overtime and then getting beaten flawlessly by the Polish squad.
And that's certainly looking like a reality, Harry. It's been a while since these T's, these Poles have been on the T side though, so maybe not warmed up to this half. We'll see.
I kind of want them just to throw in this fast A play from the pistol round, right? Wait for the early utility and then just barrel in, you know, no respect. And we still might get to see it.
Yeah, they're fully grouped in the lobby with the exception of Manish just holding the spawn push here. Very passive on the AWP. Making sure Heroic don't challenge that yard. We know they like to play aggressively. S-Tag specifically below the silo a lot. This time he's up in main. Blame F playing that yard as well. Just watching for the B cross. devils.one may meet him with it as well. They've gone towards this outside position. Maniz and Rala moving up with this AWP. Smokes towards the yard, but Blame F catches a bit of damage. Deher tagged up. It only gives away his position though. And devils.one can just molly him off, try and cut him off with the utility. That they've done. Now pushing towards the main position. S-Tag, he catches a free kill. Deher back turned and S-Tag doubles it. 2 kills for the side of Heroic and a saving grace in a crucial round. Miles has fallen to the AWP and this may not be done yet.
Yeah, the best Heroic can hope for is a second overtime, but that's still very much on the cards, while Taz will deal with the aggressive S-Tag. Still a 2v4. Still not looking likely. Manice looking to try and spice things up here. Getting into hell, but that scope will be telegraphed. Oh no, Stown will check it. There we go. Finally looks down towards the ladder and catches Manice. And Taz tries to drop in through the vents, but there's already a man posted up there. Heroic. They're going to need some Heroics. They need 2 more rounds to force the double overtime here, but it does not feel impossible.
If there's one thing I've learned from this third map is that Manice needs to change his res when he plays Nuke. 4 times now this map, he has been 4x3'd in situations where he would have definitely had kills. But alas, a round is a round, and Heroic takes 16 here on the CT side. Mertz still on the AWP. Manice, same story. Miles with a quick door break, but won't be following up off the back of it. Just smoke in main. Molly does miss, but there was one down regardless, so it wouldn't have made a difference. Blame again with his hell wrap, or secret wrap rather. Trying to watch the yard split. But we may be going back to the A take that you wanted, Harry.
This is looking more like a vent dive with how that smoke falls. They do get Rallen by. S-Tag just spraying through is so deadly. As he drops one, Blame on the wrap round, and there's also, let's not forget, Mertz down at the ramp position can look to shut down any B play that devils.one try and throw in. He will do so, shutting down Manice. There's Blame arriving as well. Rallen and Taz all that remain, and they're going to try and find this bomb. Roland catches the timing, but he whiffs the shots, and that's Taz now asked to 1v4. 16 points held to his name. Heroic standing, about to pick up a 17th round as they stumble back to their feet in this CT half. They're looking to make this not all in vain. And just one round will separate them from locking in a double overtime. What a spectacle this has been. It is delivered on the promise of being a close series. Oh. Taz gets that, but with 25 seconds left in a 1v3, you really don't fancy his odds. I hate writing off rounds too soon, but this just feels like a very unwinnable one from him.
Yeah, they're just not going to peek him, and he also doesn't have bomb. They can peek him. Why not? 12 seconds. Taz trying to at least get some kills here, but the nade will finish him off, seal the deal there for Heroic. 17 rounds, 1 away from a win. And considering, Harry, this was a game in regulation of close halves. 8-7 in favor of CT sides for both teams, of course. And now we have potentially two flawless CT halves. It was for the Poles, and now it's 2 out of 2 for Heroic. What a turnaround once weaponry and utility is in their hands. But let's see what could be the final round or the start of something new. Overtime 2 on the cards.
It's over here at ramp, about to be tested. They bait the shot out from the Orpha. He goes back in for more, and Manish was not ready for it. Blame F here to help him out. And Heroic, just 2 kills separate them from a double overtime. And Mertz is styling on the poles down here at the ramp. 3 kills from him. The hat trick. And now it's the thrust into the 1v5 on this wrap, but Blame F is holding the angle, and Dia is not ready for it. We're heading through to a double overtime. The gift that keeps on giving. That's what this game is. And Mertz now starting to step up, starting to find his footing with the AWP. That's a worrying prospect if you're devils.one. By the way, shout out to NIP. You must be watching this game on life support, right? Their heart is all over the place at this point in time.
Oh.
Because if Heroic pick this up, devils.one, they're safe, right? They're sitting in 3rd. Heroic would move up to 2nd, and that puts Nip down in that 4th place spot.
It's the
fast play. It's the fast play from the Devils. They're switching up the pace. They're going with this A-side rush, and they are finding a couple of kills, but it's all getting shut down by Blame F once again.
And that bomb, it's in the open. It's been retrieved by Heroic. They can just camp on it. Blame with his 3rd kill of the round from heaven. It's Taz trying to save the day, but only a 1-for-1, and in a man disadvantage, it's not going to be favorable. Mani's dead as well. The fast A play not working out there for Devils. And Heroic, another CT side round to add to their many, their collection, I guess you could say. It was 3 for both teams on the CT side in overtime, and now Heroic look to do it again. 1 done. Saying it's anyone's game really doesn't do it justice, but devils.one, what do they got for us? No AWP for Minis this time. Back to the flat rifles, and probably not a fast approach. Blame F, 34 kills. He has been a tank in this game, in this series. Back towards the yard. devils.one again setting up outside this silo. Blame F can cut down any lower B player, or at least get the information as to where it's going. Very patient as to not peek over the top and try and take this fight to die here. Dia is on the other side. S-Tag, we've not seen him do this for a long time. And will devils.one have forgotten the nuisance that is Patrick in the yard? Smoke close. S-Tag has the info. Rallen climbs up though, and he's not ready for the angle. Quick entry for devils.one. They find their first kill on this T side. Stow mollied out as well. He saw a player climbing up and above, but he's going to get flamed out of position. Can't fight this yard spot. Blame F going to give up yard as well. He'll just drop down towards the doldrums of B. And devils.one, they might even split main here. No, they go deeper. Taz gets caught. More nades. Stown can't catch a break, but Freiburg certainly can. Through the corner of the smoke, he takes down Rallen, and Stown now given the room to move. Another kill from the CT side, and they just keep coming on. Heroic. Mouse alone in a 1-on-4, and no time to do it once again.
And that almost looked like a heartbreaking round for Heroic. Like, they lose S-Tag outside. He just had to sit back and hope that his teammates can carry them through this round, and he'll be met with a pretty happy result. The rest of the gang step up. That man on the screen there, Stown, he has a phenomenal hold towards outside, helped out by Mertz and Freiburg. Last round of the T side for devils.one. And Heroic looking like they have it in them to go flawless once again in this CT half.
One round the difference. Utility early as well from Heroic, denying it what could have been another faster A approach, but devils.one would not go back to that. But the delayed A push, well, that's a whole different kettle of fish, and they're going to go right for it. Flash through the HUD, that's the only utility into this bomb site, and these CTs might be caught off guard. Down in the open, gets one, but double entry here for Devils, and the bomb drops down again, stepping up. He's been the bottom performer this series, but he has just saved Heroic in what could be another flawless CT half. Taz has got to try and remedy the situation. Damage done, and finally the kill through the wall, but a 1-on-2, and Heroic aren't moving.
Knows that Mertz is normally the ramp player. Blame F is the unknown quantity here in the back of Taz's mind. The rest of devils.one having a look on as now the most experienced, the most seasoned player on this team. The man at the helm has to try and show them exactly what years of experience looks like. Taz with 35 seconds left in this round. Bomb on his back. Blame F has started to consider the potential of the B-Rap. Taz won't be given any fight though, as Mertz just sits in the hut, but if he keeps on pushing, he might find the lone AWPer here lying in wait, and Taz, this could be it. Mertz turns around though. The timing is picture perfect. Heroic go flawless. 21-19 is 18 rather is the scoreline right now. 22 is the magic number we're looking for, Hugo. And Heroic, they need one more to have done it, to have secured that second place slot in the group, dropping NIP down to 4th. devils.one, they now need the flawless CT side. The pressure is on. Heroic were able to answer the call the first time around. Devils were able to field it as well. Well, they have the same success story once again, though. That's a different story, and not with Mertz landing that. Man advantage taken, and he's quick to capitalize. This push coming in, blindsides Taz. Heroic, just 3 players left standing on the side of devils.one. All that stand between them and locking in this series.
He dies through the smoke, gets a 1-for-1, but this bomb is still on the site for Heroic, and Maus, he's been heard in the heaven. Second player coming up to join him, and knees side by side, but headshot angle going to favor Stown. He gets 1, doesn't expect a second. Maus peeks out for 2, but he can't spray down the 3rd. It's Heroic, a grueling best-of-3 series. All the rounds, all the maps, all the overtimes, but they take it 22 here on the T side.